So a caller recently got through on the Howard Stern show and brought up the flat earth topic. Howard actually gave this guy a few minutes of airtime while he laughed at the idea and dismissed it, of course. But during that few minutes, he exposed his giant audience to the flat earth topic. So in that instant, I came up with an idea that I would make a response video to Howard and ask that he put me on his show, knowing full and well he would probably never ever put me on his show, and if they did, they would ridicule me, chop up little clips of me, and try to make me look foolish for their audience. But the way I look at it is, any publicity for flat earth is good publicity, especially when I'm involved, because you could try to make me look like a fool, chop up clips of an interview of mine, but if people then go to my YouTube, they're gonna see my videos the way they're meant to be, and I could flip a globe believer to the flat side, right? So that was my thinking. Make a response video to Howard, and maybe some miracle shot in the dark, I get a chance to go on the show, or maybe they'll use a clip of my voice or one of my videos on the show. That was the thought. Shortly after making my response video, I received a message on Facebook from a guy named Brent claiming to be a producer for the Stern Show. He said he was going to call me the next day at 9 a.m. sharp. And actually, here's the message from Brent that I got when he called the first time and I missed the call.
Hi Jake, this is Brent calling from the Stern Show. Just wanted to get your, just to record an interview with you for Howard based on your YouTube video. I'm going to shoot you a note and you can tell me what time would be good to call you to take an interview. Thanks buddy, appreciate it.
So Brent sent me a message and actually called my phone, and I missed the first call, but he said he was going to call me at 9 a.m. sharp the next morning for an interview. Now, I was stoked. I was actually going to get a chance to speak my mind to a Stern producer. So somebody connected to Stern saw my video and was then going to take my interview and show it to Howard. So I was pretty stoked about this. I thought maybe there's a chance I might actually end up on that show and I could get the Flat Earth Assholes channel exposed to all of his audience and hopefully flip some globe believers over to Flat Earth. And that was basically my whole goal, and it seemed like it might work. So I get my camera ready because I use my phone to film. So I needed to get a secondary camera to film the phone conversation for when Brent was gonna call me the next day. So I have my camera next to my bed and I set my alarm for 8 in the morning. I'm not a morning person, so I had to get up at 8 in the morning, and I wanted to eat breakfast and be ready for this, get my coffee and be wide awake and ready for this interview. So that was my plan. 6 a.m. I get a phone call. Hello? It's Brent from the Stern Show. He meant 9 a.m. Eastern time, and I live in California, Pacific time, 3 hours difference. So at 6 a.m. I got my call for the interview, and oh shit, I have to gain my thoughts right then, right as I'm awakened at 6 a.m. And again, I'm not a morning person. And I had to quickly put that all aside and try to have an interview at 6 a.m. for the Stern Show when I totally wasn't even prepared. Like, I planned on being up for an hour, eating a little breakfast, drinking some coffee, maybe even like having a few bullet points of what I wanted to say so that I didn't get distracted. That went right out the window. So I got woken up at 6 a.m. by the Howard Stern Show producer, Brent. And it was on like Donkey Kong. I had to make the best of it. So I'm not trying to make excuses, but the flat earth asshole was not at the top of his game at 6 a.m. But I did my best to bring the interview. And I was hoping they would use my interview or clips or bring me back for a call-in segment or something. But it's been about over 2 weeks now and nothing has happened. So my guess is they aren't going to use my interview. I'm not going to get to be on the Howard Stern show. But luckily, I did tape the phone interview with my secondary camera. So if anything, I get to show you guys that now. Alright, so the Earth is flat because it's observably so. You can observe it for yourself and you can test it. You can verify it and measure it for yourself. There is no curvature to be found. You can see, for instance, you can see Chicago skyline across Lake Michigan from over 50 miles away. And the local weatherman will have you know that that's a mirage, when in actuality you're seeing the actual skyline of Chicago 50 miles away. But they don't want you to believe what your eyes are seeing, so the weatherman will have you believe that's a mirage across Lake Michigan. Now we can also see, for instance, the Rogers Center in Toronto across across the lake from New York, and that's 30 miles away. And the Rogers Center is only 282 feet tall, and at 30 miles away, the Rogers Center should be absolutely buried in curvature, and we can see it, the whole building, from 30 miles away. And this just branches off from fake space missions that they've been doing ever since the fake moon landing. So basically you have...
Let me ask you a question, because I want to make sure I got this correct.
Yeah.
You don't think that we've ever been to space or to the moon?
Absolutely not. There's no way to go to the moon and land on it. I don't even think it's an object you can even physically land a rocket ship on. Yeah, they're just lying. Basically, that's just all done in a studio. It's CGI. It's the same way they do it in a movie. It's the same way they trick you. If you see a spaceman floating around, well, what they're doing is they're either floating around inside of a airplane that's doing parabolic maneuvers going up and down. Either that, or they're in front of a green screen in a harness, and they just do CGI. So as long as they've been doing fake movies about space, then they've been doing fake missions to space the same way. They've just been faking us with Hollywood trickery. So basically, go ahead.
So Buzz Aldrin has been on the show with Howard. So you think that he was lying to Howard?
Absolute liar. Yeah, every man who says they've ever been to the moon is absolutely full of shit. 100% complete liar. That's why when you ask them to swear on the Bible if they've walked on the moon, they won't do it. They'll punch you in the face, they'll run away. Hell, there's footage of these guys attacking people who ask them to just swear on a Bible that they walked on a moon. Now, if you're a 70-year-old man, 80-year-old man, 90-year-old man just about to die after you walked on the moon, do you really need to punch everyone in the face who asks you if you've walked on the moon and to swear on a Bible? I mean, the body language of these astronauts is pretty clear that they absolutely didn't go and that they're just paid liars. So let's get back to the flat Earth thing, though, mostly, is because it's absolutely observable and verifiable. The world you live in is absolutely not moving. You can't feel the Earth spinning because it doesn't spin. You know, you can't see any curvature because there isn't any.
So let me ask you this: the people that are, as you claim, lying to us?
Yeah.
What do you think is their end game? What is the payoff? Why would they do it? What's the why behind their lying?
All right, the why, basically it boils down to this. If I don't want you to know something, and me and a few people conspire, and we get together and come up with a story about reality and tell you that reality is the opposite of what it is, well, if you believe that, then suddenly you're no longer as smart as everyone else because you believe in a false reality. So if I can come up with a false reality and get you to believe in it, that would make me smarter than you. I would know what reality is and you wouldn't. So basically, the people in control of us, they know what reality is and they don't want us to know what it is. They might be hiding more land from us by putting the Earth together as a ball, a fake fictitious globe. You can hide more land, possibly. You can hide the existence of a dome or a barrier, which would prove that we are intelligently created, intelligently designed, and that there was no Big Bang. So the Earth as a ball hides a lot of things. It could hide your creation by a higher power or a god. It could hide more land and resources. And it basically just hides the truth, which makes you dumb.
Where did the idea of the Earth is round versus the Earth is flat, where did that first start? Do you know?
Well, it first starts with guys like Pythagoras and all these, Galileo, all these guys thousands of years ago. Forgive me, it's 6 a.m. here, so I'm having to gather my thoughts.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So.
I'm live, and I'm not trying to make you.
No, absolutely. No, I no big deal. So these guys, the first ones that do it. Pythagoras, God, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. It's got like a similar name as that. And, yeah, thank you, absolutely. So these guys are the first ones to start talking about it, and it didn't quite catch on, because everyone knew it wasn't a spinning ball, so of course it didn't catch on right away because the first people to hear that shot it down. They're like, okay, the earth beneath my feet is definitely not spinning. And I definitely don't see the earth curving. Water, the physical nature of water doesn't curve, and you can't get it to stick to a spinning ball. So people knew this. It took a long time to get people to believe this. You had to implement it into the school curriculum so you can trick children before they have the mental capacity to argue back. You can't argue against me. You don't have the mental capacity to argue against your teacher that water doesn't stick to a spinning ball. You just accept it to be so because, you're a kid. So basically, it was grunt work to try to get people to believe this until they got it implemented into our school curriculum. And then once you're a child, you just have no choice but to go with what the teacher tells you.
And so now you think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong. So now you think that, let's say for sake of argument, world leaders continue with the Earth is round for purposes of keeping things from the general populace?
Yeah, they've been continuing with that charade along with many other charades. The same reason why they don't come out and tell us that 9/11 was controlled demolition. The same reason they don't come out and tell us that Sandy Hook was an absolute hoax. They've been lying to us about a lot of things. The same reason they don't tell us that the war on terrorism is absolute bullshit and that we're funding terrorism. They can't tell us the truth. That's what conspiracy is. So whenever someone says, oh, it's just another conspiracy theory, it's conspiracy fact. There are people who conspire. That's why the word exists. It's a conspiracy. There are people that don't want us to know the truth, and they hold it back from us. And the group that's been holding the space lie together, for the most part, NASA and other space agencies are holding that lie together. They are, I guess you can say they're keeping the space lie propped up with the dollars that they steal from us out of our tax dollars.
Okay, so if you don't mind, can totally up to you. Can I ask you some biographical information?
Ask me what information?
Biographical information about yourself.
Oh, okay, sure.
How old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
Okay, so you're not obviously a 20-year-old.
No.
Did you go to college?
Yes, I did. Graduated from a four-year university, California State University, Stanislaus.
Oh, okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, I currently employed, and I also am a part-time musician and YouTuber on the side.
Oh, great. And are you married?
Not married.
Okay. Well, so you seem like a pretty normal, average American then.
I guess you could say that, except for the part where I think that the Earth is flat, you know, except for that part.
Well, I mean, I think everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And let me ask you this: if I schedule it with you ahead of time, would you be willing to talk to Howard live on the air?
Absolutely. I would love to talk to Howard. I grew up watching his show when I was a teenager. When he was on E, I used to watch his show and used to listen to. Nowadays I don't really listen to Howard anymore, but I still like Howard, and I would love to talk to him if given the chance, for sure.
Okay, great. I really and what was your first name again?
Jake.
Jake?
Yeah.
Okay, Jake, my name is Brent Hatley, and I really appreciate you talking to me today, and I really appreciate the time, even though it's early there in California. And I'm gonna play these clips for Howard, and then I'll be back in touch. Okay?
Absolutely. So he's gonna hear these, huh?
100%.
All right. Well, hey Howard, what's up? This is Jake the Flat Earth Asshole. I'd love to talk to you in person. It's 6 a.m. I could definitely get going even more hardcore than this.
Okay, Jake, you have a great day, my friend. And again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Brent.
Okay, take it easy, brother.
All right, bye.
So there was the interview that never aired on the Stern Show. And it's a shame, too, because it would have been really fun to go on the Stern Show and yuck it up about Flat Earth with Howard. But of course, Howard has to cater to his audience, and his audience, they don't want to hear about the Flat Earth. No, I think I would have had a much better chance of getting on the Stern Show if I would have, I don't know, maybe eaten a hamburger out of a homeless guy's ass crack. Oh yeah, then maybe I could have gotten on the show. Hey, maybe if I had a couple hookers with me who were willing to show their tits, I would have been a shoo-in to get on the show. Hey, maybe I'll rent some hookers who are willing to show their tits, and then once I get on the show, sneak the Flat Earth in there at the last second. Maybe that would work, right? Because Howard's too chicken shit to talk about a subject he knows nothing about. Yeah, that's right, Howard. I said you're too chicken shit to talk about anything you know nothing about. So the only thing left for us to do, Howard, us flat earthers that is for us to call you out now. We're just gonna call you out. I'm gonna start with this video by calling you Howard the Coward. And I would also like anybody who listens to Howard or who wants to call Howard a coward to call his show whenever you can, whenever they air. I'm not sure what times it's on. Call his show and try to talk about the Flat Earth on his show and call him Howard the Coward on his show. And tell him to invite the Flat Earth asshole on his show to talk about the Flat Earth. Otherwise, he's going to remain Howard the Coward from here on out because he's seen my video. His producer did an interview with me and showed it to him. They chose not to use it, not to have me on. So he's been informed, and he's been informed by a real Flat Earther. So now we call him Howard the Coward. Howard the Coward. Have Flat Earth asshole come on your show. Otherwise, you are Howard the Coward for life, punk.